My friends, next year, at a date to be announced, at a time of my choosing, we will be going back to the people on the local government election.
Why do you think they never call local government election on Sunday at them conference? Because them can't cross it. Them know so the people are in them again. Because the people tired of the lies and the deception and the corruption.
After 4 postponements, Andrew Holness said he will call local government elections next year. Meanwhile, PNP leader Mark Golding said Holness is afraid to call the election. This is another edition of Cover Story Highlights. Let's get after it. But before we do, I want to thank all the kind folks who have subscribed to this channel. For those of you who have not yet subscribed, please do so now. Like, share, and comment on the content. The analysis suggests that Prime Minister Andrew Holness faces a challenging decision regarding the timing of elections, particularly the local government election. With opinion polls indicating his party's lagging popularity, the postponed local government election appears to be strategically delayed. The fear is that the opposition PNP could secure a substantial majority affecting the JLP's re-election bid in the 2025 general election. The lack of transparency in the reasons given by Desmond McKenzie for the postponements raises questions about the government's commitment to democratic norms. The decision not to heed the calls for the local government election implies an awareness of unfavorable polling data. The potential for the PNP to dominate the municipal corporations island-wide poses a significant threat to the JLP's electoral prospect. Let us revisit the reasons given by Desmond McKenzie earlier this year when he announced the postponement for the 4th time.
Madam Speaker, carefully consider the position of the government that the holding of the municipal elections at this time will carry a significant risk, diverting the country from these two vital tasks. That is fully accepted. Madam Speaker, the elections, Madam Speaker, is of importance. However, the government is seeking a little more time to ensure that the significant expenditure that elections required will be effectively managed alongside other priorities in the economy. You know, Madam Speaker, I want to maintain and not get distracted by my colleagues over there. But it is important, Madam Speaker, that a brief period of postponement will facilitate the conclusion, Madam Speaker, one. And this is of importance, Madam Speaker. It is the commitment of the government that Portmore becomes the 15th parish, Madam Speaker. And such postponement, Madam Speaker, will help us to conclude the consultations that are presently taking place. The Portmore Municipal Council have requested further time for consultations, and we believe that in the interest, Madam Speaker, because we want, when the time rolls around, Madam Speaker, the people of Portmore will move out to cast their votes as the 15th parish of Jamaica, Madam Speaker. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I am presenting this bill to the House today, Madam Speaker, to seek a postponement of the holding of local government elections to February 28, 2024, Madam Speaker.
Holness was forced to address the issue in August when a reporter from The Observer questioned him on whether the country can be assured of the February 28, 2024 deadline for staging the local government election.
In two countries in the region, the courts have ruled that the postponement of local government election was unconstitutional. Our local government election has been postponed to February. Can you say to the country today if we will go to the polls for a local government election by February?
The government intends to fulfill the constitutional requirements and the Constitution as it relates to the local government elections. They have set a date. It has been postponed. If there is need, if something happens, if there is an exogenous shock or weather event, then certainly that has to be considered. But as it is now, it is the intention of the government to fulfill its constitutional duties.
The strategic calculus becomes apparent in the reluctance to risk providing the PNP with momentum and bragging rights just ahead of the 2025 general elections. The analysis therefore contends that Prime Minister Holness is apprehensive about calling the local government election, as a PNP victory could empower the opposition to pressure for an early general election, citing popular rejection of the JLP. Now fast forward to the Jamaica Labour Party annual conference. The expectations were that the Prime Minister would announce a date for the staging of the local government election in February next year. But this is what we got.
Next year, at a date to be announced, at a time of my choosing, we will be going back to the people on the local government election.
Speaking at a rally after the Jamaica Labour Party conference, this is how PNP leader Mark Golding responded to the non-announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party leader.
And I tell you what, why you think they never call local government election on Sunday at them conference? Because them can't cross it. Them know so the people are in them again. Because the people tired of the lies and the deception and the corruption.
The assessment, therefore, suggests that the political landscape is characterized by strategic maneuvering and a delicate balance of power. Prime Minister Andrew Holness appears cautious about the potential consequences of a local government election, aiming to avoid granting the opposition a platform for challenging the JLP's legitimacy and authority as the 2025 general election looms. And that was Cover Story Highlights. Please remember to join me again for another edition of Cover Story Highlights. In the meantime, please subscribe, like, share, and comment.